Welcome to 15 Minutes with Dad. I'm your host, Lirec Williams, author of Man Up From Our Trauma to Being Impactful Fathers. This podcast is about real fatherhood at every stage, the kind that isn't filtered, perfect, or easy. It's about being present, having a presence, growing through the tough moments, and leading with purpose even when life gets messy. Every episode, we talk about the things that matter most: emotional healing, parenting resilience, co-parenting, being a spouse, and learning how to build homes rooted in love and accountability. If something you hear in this conversation helps you grow, I want to hear from you. Share your story, your wins, or the areas you're still working on. Email me directly at Lirec, L-I-R-E-C, at 15minuteswithdad.com. That's Lirec, L-I-R-E-C, at 15minuteswithdad.com. Because this podcast isn't just a platform, it's a community. And every story we share brings another father closer to healing, connection, and legacy. So let's get into today's episode. Hey brothers, welcome back to 15 Minutes with Dad. Today's episode is one of the most important conversations we'll ever have on the show. Because this one isn't just about what we teach our kids, it's about what we model. We're talking about emotional intelligence, emotional awareness, the skill that determines how our kids handle stress, communicate love, and navigate the world. Emotional skills aren't soft, they're survival tools. They shape how your children handle frustration, build confidence, and connect with people who see the world differently. You might think, I was never taught this stuff as a kid. Like, why do I got to do that? That's okay. Most of us weren't. But today, you get to change the story. Now, let's start with the truth that might sting a little for some, but for some, it might be just something they're used to hearing all the time. But most of us grew up being told to stop crying, toughen up, or shake it off. And now, as fathers, we often repeat what we experience, not because we want to, but because it's what we know. And when you add in the gender factor, whether it's a little boy or little girl, we tend to do that more, leaning to whatever side we feel we need to give it to. But Dr. John Gottman, in his book, Raising an Emotionally Intelligent Kid, says, when parents dismiss or disapprove of their child's emotions, those children often struggle to regulate feelings later in life. Think about that. The way we respond to our kids' emotions now becomes the voice inside their heads later. And I bet you also can hear that voice in the back of your head every time you have an emotional anything. So emotional intelligence isn't just about teaching your kids to be kind. It's about teaching them to understand what they feel, name it, and respond with self-control. Now, kids who develop emotional intelligence show better problem-solving skills, lower stress and anxiety, and stronger social and academic performance. And the most powerful part, they build resilience because they learn emotions aren't enemies to be avoided. They're signals to be understood. And when your child can identify what they feel, they gain control over what they do next. That's emotional strength in motion. I could tell you for sure that before my grandfather passed away, my maternal grandfather, we had a sit down. He called me over. It was on Mother's Day. I think I was like 26. He called me over. I think he was drinking. He was pretty drunk, but he called me over and sat me on his lap at the age of 26. And he apologized to me for being mean to me because he was like, I know you don't mess with me. I know you don't. He said the F word. He said, I know you don't fuck with me. And I was like, Grandpa, I love you. But in reality, I, in my heart, told myself, I know I can't deal with my grandfather more than 45 minutes at a time. After that, I leave because I know that it always used to go into some very intense conversations about how I'm not a man because I did this or I danced or I didn't go and work and give my girlfriend my money for her to deal with. Or we always had conversations about what a man was. And, he was pretty abusive in his earlier years to women. And so I just didn't like him all entirely. I just had a vendetta against him most of my life. But at that moment, at 26, when he sat me down and had that conversation and said, I know you don't mess with me, but I just want to tell you I'm sorry. I treated you the only way that I knew how. Like, you were the firstborn boy, and so I had to make you strong. And my dad did the same to me, and his dad did the same to him. And, I started crying, not realizing that he was the voice in the back of my head all my life when I'm challenging myself on things that I'm doing, or I'm feeling down about something. I'm tough and I'm trying to wipe my tears and not really feel a thing so that I can navigate things. And I realized, when I drove home that night, I cried all the way home. It was a 45-minute drive, but I cried all the way home, just reliving that moment of him apologizing and saying how much he loves me and that he's sorry and that he's learned things from me on how to be a man. And he's so proud of me. It took me back. It had me all in tears all the way home, guys. Here's something I learned. Your child doesn't need you to fix their emotions. They need you to understand them. And I'm learning this from my teenage daughter. When you validate a feeling, you're telling your child, I see you. That's love in its purest form. And here's what it looks like in practice. Your child comes to you and say, oh my God, I hate school, or I hate this. Instead of, don't talk like that, try. Sound like you had a rough day. You want to tell me what happened? See, validate their feelings and ask him to talk about them. Your son throws his backpack down after losing a game, all upset. Instead of, stop overreacting or calm down, it's just a game. Try, I can see you're disappointed. You worked really hard and that hurts. Validation does not mean agreement. It means connection. According to The Whole Brain Child by Dr. Dan Siegel, naming emotions help activate the rational part of the brain, the prefrontal cortex, and calms the emotional part. In other words, when you help your child put words to their feelings, their brain literally begins to calm down. That's how emotional regulation is learned, not through punishment or lectures, but through understanding. So if we want to raise emotionally intelligent children, we have to make our home emotionally safe. Ask yourself, do your kids feel like they can talk about their feelings without fear of being judged or corrected? In many homes, emotions are treated like interruptions, something to manage, not understand. But when you turn your home into a space where emotions are welcome, you're teaching your kids that feelings are part of being human. Now, you can start by doing small things. You can keep an emotion chart in the kitchen or in the bedroom. Let them point to how they feel instead of forcing words they don't have. At dinner, ask, what was your high and what was your low today? Instead of, how was school? You can use movies or stories to discuss emotions. How do you think that character felt when that happened? Psychologist Marc Brackett, author of Permission to Heal, says the emotional intelligence is like a muscle. It grows with use. The more you talk about emotions, the more emotionally literate your child becomes. Make feelings normal. Normalize tears. Normalize saying, I don't know why I feel this way. That's how you create emotional resilience, not by avoiding pain, but by helping your child learn they can handle it. So let's talk tools, real practical things you can do this week. We talked about emotional charts. Younger kids especially benefit from visuals, Let them identify emotions like happy, worried, or proud by pointing. This helped them connect their internal world with language. The second one is deep listening. When your child is talking, resist the urge to correct or jump in. Give them space, nod, mirror their words back like you felt left out when that happened. Or you felt left out when that happened, so they feel heard. Storytelling. Share moments from your own childhood when you felt angry, scared, or sad, and how you managed it. When fathers open up, it gives kids permission to do the same. The next one I would ask you to do is to ask reflective questions. Instead of, why are you crying? Ask, what do you need right now? It shifts the focus from judgment to empathy. The last one is modeling a calm demeanor. Your child learns emotional regulation by watching you. When you stay calm, you're literally rewiring their sense of safety. Remember, emotional intelligence is caught more than it's taught. My brother, I want you to hear me clearly. This work you're doing, learning to name, feel, and express your emotions, is legacy work. It's not just about raising good kids, it's about healing generations. When you teach your child how to process pain, you're protecting their mental health, their future relationships, their future decision-making, and their ability to thrive in a world that won't always be kind. You're always teaching them what self-love looks like, how to treat themselves with compassion instead of shame. One day, your child will face their own storm, and because of you, they'll know they can stand in it without losing themselves. That's fatherhood at its highest level, turning your healing into their strength. So here's your challenge this week. Create one emotional learning moment with your child. It doesn't have to be deep or dramatic. Ask how they're feeling and truly listen. Or share a moment when you felt angry, scared, or proud and how you managed it. Something simple as that. Every time you have that conversation or that type of conversation, you're giving your child a gift most adults never got. Because teaching emotional intelligence doesn't start with lessons, it starts with your presence. So I'm Lirec Williams, and this is 15 Minutes with Dad. Keep showing up, keep growing. Your presence is building emotional safety and resilience that will outlive you. And just like that, we've hit an end of another epic journey here at 15 Minutes with Dad. I'm your host, Lirec, and I am thrilled to have shared this time with you. But guess what? The conversation is far from over. Want to dive deeper into the Dadverse? Check out our website at 15minuteswithdad.com and join our vibrant community on Instagram, Discord, and TikTok for your daily dose of dad inspiration, camaraderie. And here's something special. Subscribe to our newsletter at 15minuteswithdad.com for exclusive goodies and behind-the-scene peeks you won't find anywhere else. Got a burning question or a dad moment that made you proud? We're all ears. Submit your questions and share those special moments with us for a chance to be featured and shout out on our show. It's your time to shine in our dad community, so tap in with our Discord, and our server is at 15 Minutes with Dad. So tap in for that. Engage with the community, and you will be featured on our show. Each week we will do another feature, so join in. Love today's episode. Spread the love by sharing it with a friend and leaving us a review. Let's get the word out and grow our awesome dad family, because guess what? When you give us a review and you rate our podcast, you give everybody the chance to enjoy what you've enjoyed about this podcast as well. So mark your calendars, because new episodes drop every Thursday of the week. Ready for more heartwarming stories, laughs, and dad wisdom? We can't wait to have you back. But until next time, keep being the amazing dad you are. Every day is a new adventure, and every moment is special. Catch you on the next episode. Love, peace, and chicken grease.